All right. Welcome to round 3 of the CALLOUS Invitational. Pkleech versus Kristyl. I think this is going to be a very fun match. Series of matches. I definitely haven't already seen them, watched them live, so I definitely know what happens. But we're going to do our recording here. Um, let me go back actually. There we go. All right. Here we go. So we have Jirachi versus Swampert leads. I feel like I've never seen either of those as leads, really. But we get Leech with a really good switch into Mag on the Skarmory coming in. And it looks like Mag did not kill Skarmory with Thunderbolt, which means that this is some sort of weird Mag. Either timid or no magnet or something, which is kind of cool. Makes the read even more nice, although they still got the spike off. But yeah, so Skarmory, Skarmory is down, and we have, oh my god, I did it again. Well, Skarmory's down, Mag comes in, and Tyranitar takes a Toxic. Alright. We got Skarmory coming in on the Tyranitar. It switched out immediately, which could mean anything. Might be Banded, maybe? We never know. We got Fire Punch from Jirachi and a Roar. That's pretty standard. Not much to say here. I think that we don't know too much about Leech's team quite yet, but Krystyl's team is very interesting. Again, lead Jirachi, I think I've literally never seen in my entire life. Obviously, I haven't been playing Mons very often, but that's a new one. And we have Jirachi coming back out, which tells me that Kristyl doesn't have very good ways to deal with Skarmory. That probably will be important later. Zapdos comes in on the expected Fire Punch, so this is probably a Spadef Zapdos. Some pretty good damage on the Tar. And yeah, no leftovers recovery on the Tar means that again it's probably Banded, or maybe it's Lumberry, but that doesn't seem likely either. I think it's probably a Banded Tar. In comes Blissey. Makes sense. Alright. Again, Krystyl's team seems pretty interesting. Definitely not bad. I'm surprised by the not Aerodactyl, the Salamence. That seems a little weird on this team. Especially since it's probably a rock resist in the back, because Jirachi's not built for that kind of thing, so with the Fire Punch stuff going. Oh yeah, I forgot. This is Ice Punch, Psychic, Fire Punch, Jirachi, which is very interesting. Zapdos getting some rest in. Blissey comes in on the Psychic to try and wall up this Jirachi with 3 special attacks. And then Kristyl revealed the super powerful hidden power of fighting here. Meaning that Blissey can't wall the Jirachi either. So the set is pretty fishy, I think, but it seems to be working pretty well. And Leech seems to have gone with the rest plus Aroma Bliss strats. It's kind of working out for him. I mean, this Spadef Zap is going to be kind of hard for Kristyl to get through. This might be if this is a mix Mence, it's going to be even harder. If it's a Dragon Dance Mence, maybe it can work out. But, I mean, Jirachi, Blissey, Tyranitar is not getting through this Zapdos, especially with Tar being banded and Zapdos being faster. So we got 3 spikes up. There's definitely not, I mean, if this is a doll in the back, that would be hilarious, but is not a doll. Again, I think it's probably a rock resist. I actually can't remember, which makes this a lot more fun to narrate. And I mean, Leech is almost definitely an Aerodactyl. Again, Spadef Zap just looks really, really hard for Kristyl to get through. It's probably Rest Sleep Talk. And Jirachi feel. I mean, maybe Mens can get in at some point. But even then, I mean, getting through Swampert and Blissey here is pretty hard. Especially with, I believe it is a Rest Skarmory. So Rest Skarmory and Rest Zapdos with the aromatherapy support is kind of nuts. Jirachi comes in on the Ice Beam. It's going to get that Wish back up. And probably hit with that Hidden Power Fighting again. 34% to a Blissey is pretty strong. Although obviously without a crit, I mean, Blissey's just going to keep soft boiling. But it doesn't seem like this Blissey can do very much back. I mean, the soft aroma ice is probably like a Wish or something in the last slot, or a Thunderbolt, so it's not going to be doing much to Jirachi either. We got a Psychic on the switch. Pretty good read from Kristyl, knowing that Blissey isn't going to stay in because it can't really do anything. Zapdos roaring. I'm assuming to maybe get Tar in for a free KO. I mean, this is all pretty standard stuff. I don't think the Zapdos is making it. Oh, that crit is very not good for Leech. Alright. I mean, I feel like Krystyl's game plan is just wear everything down and then try and win with Mence. I don't know. Again, I don't know, remember if Mence was DD or not. I don't think that Tar is going to be particularly effective for the rest of this team. Just because it's already low. There's probably not a spinner. It's a CB probably. Hey, there's a crit. Wow. That is really unfortunate for Leech in this situation. Blissey has to switch now or get killed by Jirachi. And Zapdos is already pretty low right now. Yep. So in comes Swampert. The Swampert does kind of wall this Jirachi. I mean, Psychic is going to do 30 something. Yeah, 30%. I think we see Mence come in here. Which is kind of a ballsy play. Yep. Alright. This is kind of a tough situation for Leech. I mean, Arrow in the back does threaten a lot of stuff here, but really low on both special walls is kind of scary. No freeze on the Ice Beam, so the Mence did get in. And Leech goes for a switch here on the Hidden Power Flying. Don't know that that was necessary. I mean, what did the Swampert take damage from? Hidden Power... No, Psychic. So, I mean, I don't think that the Swampert's dying. In comes that Tar. Tar's got one turn, and Leech makes the extraordinary decision to stay and click Rest. I don't think I would have made that decision at all, but that worked out for him. In comes Jirachi once again, and then we see Arrow come in. Luckily no burn on that Fire Punch, or I think Leech would be in a hell of a lot of trouble right now. Mence comes in on an Earthquake, so that was a good read by Kristyl as well. I think we're going to see another DD from Salamence here, or here's Swampert. I think Leech realizes that Swampert is not Swampert's real goal now is to stop Mence, and that's it. So he's going to use it to stop Mence. Yeah, 46% from that hidden power flying, and Salamence is down. Again, I don't think that Kristyl has a lot of options here. I got Jirachi at 1%, which, you know, still alive. Takes out Swampert, but Swampert, I think, did its job. And now it's just a matter of making sure to take down that last, which I think we think is Pert. Jirachi's down, and yep, there's the Swampert. Leech has to be a little careful here. Losing Aerodactyl, I think, would be a really bad play. So, yep, here comes Blissey. Not sure. I guess Blissey was the play to sack. Zapdos probably clicks Rest here and tries to go for some Roar plays. Yep. There's the Rest. Now we're going to see some Sleep Talks to try and get a Roar out on Swampert and chip down with Spikes, but unfortunately rolls Thunderbolt. Probably see another Sleep Talk. Again, I think Leech's plan is to get Swampert low enough that Aerodactyl can deal with it without getting one-shot by that Surf. Well, probably not one-shot, but destroyed by that Surf. Also got to deal with Blissey. What is Blissey at right now? 76%, so it's going to come in at about 51. So, Zapdos wakes up, uses a Rest again. Again, still probably fishing for some Roars. And maybe stalling out Ice Beam PP, although obviously that doesn't matter as much against Aerodactyl. And Skarmory for that matter. It's really just for Zapdos. Another Sleep Talk Thunderbolt roll. Very unfortunate for Leech. And another Ice Beam. He's got to get a Roar here or Zapdos is going down. And we get Rest. So Zapdos is down. I think we're going to see Skarmory come out here. The real question now is whether Skarmory can deal with Blissey and Swampert. Probably Toxic would be the last move that would be able to deal with it. We got a Surf. Skarmory sleeps. And now we have the moment of truth is whether or not the Skarmory has any way to deal with those two Pokemon. I don't like the switch from from Swampert to Blissey. And Leech does have that Toxic, so Skarmory is looking very scary for the last two of Krystyl's team. Yep. Wow, 2 Toxic misses in a row. Very, very unfortunate for Leech. 26% on that Blissey, and it does get Toxic. I think we're going to see Soft Boiled here, and Skarmory has Roar and Rest. Oh, wow. Leech went for a Rest. I guess technically Skarmory can somewhat stall out the rest of this team. Blissey's not going to be doing much to Skarmory. But I still don't know about the switch here. I mean, it seems to be maybe working out, but another Seismic Toss into Surf would not KO Skarmory, so that's why looks like Kristyl opted for the Wish here. Blissey does go down, and now it's a question of whether Swampert can make it through Skarmory with that Wish coming in this turn now. Swampert is back to full, and Skarmory is going to probably opt for Toxic. There's not really any other good move for it to click. Dang, those are some high rolls, I believe. I believe 32 was one of the lower rolls, and 37 is pretty high here. The surf? Oh, baby. 1%. 1% on Skarmory. And now, yep, it's going to get to rest up. That is too bad. And now, yeah, that should be all she wrote. Makes it through Skarmory, but at the cost of most of Swampert's health. Actually, maybe not even make it through Skarmory here. Yeah, I think Skarmory's just going to survive until the end. Click rest again. Yep. Yep. That is very unfortunate. Feels like both players are playing pretty well here, though. This team doesn't seem like it had a great matchup into Leech's team. The aromatherapy with rest Pokemon really did a bit of a number on Krystyl's stuff. And Arrow to clean it up at the end as well. Guarantee that Leech could make some riskier plays because he knew he had the Arrow in the back to finish it off. And Skarmory goes down, but Swampert will die to Toxic here in just a moment, and we are on to game 2. Exciting stuff. It was a really good first game from Pkleech, and honestly not a bad game from Kristyl either. I mean, they both seem to be playing fairly well. Alright, let's open up game 2 here. My god, I hate light mode. Alright, go back to slow, and let's start game 2 here. We have a Tyranitar Skarmory matchup first turn, and the standard Fire Blast from Elite Tar. Definitely got Pursuit and Crunch, and then I feel like Leech leans towards a non-Brick Break last move. I don't think I see Brick Break out of Leech a lot. It's probably like a Rock Slide, Focus Punch, Hidden Power. So maybe this isn't a Pursuit Tar. That was probably Hidden Power Grass. And there's Brick Break. So yeah, this is a very weird Tar. In comes Celebi. This is going to be a interesting game. Can't really tell much out of Leech's team so far, but Kristyl seems a little stally with the Skarmory to spin, to put up spikes, and the Starmie to spin. Blissey is a wall. Can't tell too much yet though. Lots of stuff Leech's team could be. That Tar coverage is very weird though. I mean, you know, mixed Tar is fine. I just didn't expect. I don't see Leech play that a lot. Actually, maybe I do. He does. Yeah, I think he gave me a few teams that have some very weird mixed Tar lead sets. I think he named one of them something I can't say in this recording. Actually, caught myself there. All right, and we have Doug coming in on a Fire Blast. This is that is a interesting way to use Doug Trio, but I mean, I guess it works. So we have Tar finally going down. I feel like that's going to be really unfortunate for Leech, because that Tar kind of did work on literally everything we've seen from Kristyl so far, except that Doug. And even then, I mean, you know, however much it did to Doug with Fire Blast was good, but unfortunate. Yeah, this Blissey is unfortunate as well. Doug coming in a beautiful Giga Drain from Celebi. I remember that as the game went on. I think that's when Ferdazi said, "Oh, yep, Kristyl has lost," or something like that in chat. and then got owned by everybody in the chat, as he deserves. There's the Skarmory Protect again. We probably see a Leech Seed from Leech now. Skarmory's probably going to start putting up more spikes. Oh wow, a Hidden Power and a Drill Peck. Okay. I lost both of those predictions. Blissey comes in, probably on another Hidden Power. Yep. That's a really unfortunate position for Leech. The Celebi is kind of a little low now, so switching it out would be kind of hard. It's not going to be ever... Yeah, no recover. So yeah, just puts up the Leech Seed and goes down. Maybe we can actually see more of Leech's team now. 19 turns in, saw 2 Pokemon. In comes Swampert. Takes the spikes, but the Leech Seed obviously gets it right back up. And here comes Snorlax on Gengar. So that is probably a pretty good matchup for Snorlax here right now. Skarmory comes in. Oh my god. Fire Blast miss. I remember this. Yep. Very unfortunate. And then Skarmory protects. We have another Fire Blast. This is kind of something I've seen from Leech quite often. This Fire Blast Snorlax. Unfortunately, it does look like Fire Blast missed again. And he's got 5 more of them, but Snorlax really did not want to be taking Drill Pecks. Really wanted to hit that Fire Blast on the entry so that it could keep itself a bit higher health. Yeah, Snorlax goes down to 27%. Very unfortunate set of misses from Leech. The Snorlax looked like it could do a lot of work on the rest of Krystyl's team, but now I believe it goes down to an Earthquake. Yep, here it is. And that does not look great for Pkleech. Swampert v Swampert. Not sure what this Swampert is. Uses Surf, and he uses Surf again. Actually doesn't look too bad damage-wise, so it's probably some sort of special attacking Swampert. And it looked like Leech's was faster than Krystyl's? No, we don't know actually. They were both 100%. An unfortunate Meteor Mash miss, but not too unexpected. And Leech's last is Salamence, so it's kind of a Celebi mix-off. I think I've seen this team from Leech a few times as well. Very Leech team. Unfortunately, I feel like this Gengar and this Swampert are going to be really tough for Leech to be able to make it through, especially since that is probably DD Men's. That Rise on Metagross looks pretty good though. If you can get some a crit or some good luck here, that would be so no boom. And I don't know that he'd even click it here. It's kind of a hard click. Metagross goes down, and yeah, this does seem this seems like it's going to be a really hard matchup for Leech to get through. Dragon Dance. We have the Ice Beam. Mence is EV'd to live said Ice Beam, and now probably smacks with Hidden Power. Yep. But again, Starmie and Blissey are both high health, 79 and 88 respectively. So the Salamence probably goes down here in just a moment. It's a very unfortunate matchup for Leech. This Snorlax missing the Fire Blast twice was just too sad. Because I feel like, again, it would have done quite a bit of work on weakening up this team and whatnot, so that Salamence could maybe have gotten a sweep in. But yeah, we are at 79%. Leech goes for a Desperado a bit, going for a Rock Slide Flinch, which actually would have won him the game, maybe? We don't really know what the Gengar is or what the Gengar is doing. I don't think that the Gengar has Hidden Power Grass. Substitute from Swampert. Wow. And it looks like Kristyl probably knew exactly what Swampert that was. Going for an immediate soft-boiled. And this is a pretty lost game, I think. Endeavorpert is not going to make it through a Blissey and a Gengar. So I think we can skip ahead a few turns. Yeah, there's the Roar. So this is the full Swampert set, and I do not personally think that that is making it through a Blissey and a Gengar. Might have been a game. Might have been a way to win if that last Rock Slide had flinched Blissey, but I think that this is over. Yep. Ended a few turns later when Blissey broke Swampert's sub and Leech clicked Endeavor. And then the Gengar boomed, and that was all she wrote. It's funny to see a Gengar that only clicks boom, clicks nothing else an entire match. Kristyl said Fire Blast misses were very lucky, and I agree for sure. Very unfortunate, but the best part about stuff like that happening is that we get a game 3. So here's game 3. Oh my god. Smogon, please make dark mode the standard and light mode the toggle. Alright. Game 3, for consistency's sake, I'm just going to put Leech at the bottom left. So that, yeah. Anyways, game 3. And thank you for, if you're listening, continue, listening to me this far. It's my first time narrating anything ever, and I am a big fan of Pkleech, and now a big fan of Kristyl as well. So I really appreciate you guys being willing to listen, and CALLOUS giving me a chance to narrate. So anyways, on to game 3. We have a Tyranitar versus Tyranitar lead. In comes Charizard and Skarmory. That is the standard switch for both of them. Tyranitar's hard to lead against Tyranitar. I forgot to turn it to slow. Whoops. I'm going to pause for a second so that I can talk about what's been happening. Charizard comes in on Skarmory. Skarmory's never going to stay in on a Charizard. It's probably and I think we see it's a sub Fire Blast. Some sort of hidden power and focus punch. So typically it's hidden power grass, I believe, but sometimes takes ice to really surprise Salamence. But yeah, so Skarmory's never going to stay in. Charizard's not a good counter to Skarmory anyways, just because it's never going to stay in on you. And you only have 8 Fire Blasts, so you have to use those pretty sparingly against everything else. We have Moltres coming in. Probably going to be a Fire Blast, Roar, Hidden Power Grass, and something else, Moltres. So they don't really do too much to each other, but I mean they have such high special attack that maybe they will. Charizard got the sub in on the Skarmory's switching turn. Charizard's looking pretty scary if it can make it through the Moltres somehow, just because Focus Punch is going to annihilate Tyranitar and still do a decent amount to Skarmory. Skarmory's never going to be able to really stay in on Charizard, and the kind of team that you take with Tyranitar, Skarmory, Moltres is probably not building against Charizard. I mean, maybe there's an arrow back here. I know I've seen an arrow in a team like this before, but it was a Leech team, and I don't think Krystyl's playing Leech's teams. Or whoever made the team that Leech took it from. Either way, Charizard is looking kind of scary here, but we'll see if it can make it through Moltres, at least. So he goes for the Fire Blast, and Moltres goes for the Flamethrower. So it's probably Flamethrower, Fire Blast. I think that's pretty standard. Another Fire Blast hits. Surprising that it hits, because that shit normally misses. And they're, like I said, they're just trading fire moves that are not very effective, but wow, okay. So it's Flamethrower Overheat, and Leech went for a bit of a risky play with a Focus Punch, predicting a switch, probably to Tar, and unfortunately gets punished by the Overheat, which also kills. Anyways, we have Tyranitar coming in. It is crunching Tyranitar, which means it's probably a Suitar with Fire Blast. There's the Fire Blast, especially as a lead. That makes sense. Probably has Brick Break as the last move. Although, actually, again, I don't think that Leech typically prefers Brick Break. I think he really likes stuff like Focus Punch and Rock Slide more as the last move on Tyranitar. And there's the Focus Punch. Very cool. Yeah, that death on Charizard is just really unfortunate. Focus Punch again, hitting the Flygon for pretty good damage. I mean, that's 51%. Which means that Flygon is either not bulky at all, or yeah, Cloyster comes in. Wow, Earthquake still did 33%. Cloyster has like 160 base defense. Oh my god, Rock Slide does 30%. I mean, that makes sense, but the frailty of Cloyster. So Kristyl has some sort of a pseudo Superman team going on, and Swampert comes in on Flygon, and that does not bode well if you're needing to bring Swampert in on Flygon immediately. Celebi on the Ice Beam. I mean, it's a little weird. I mean, it makes sense, but feel like you could bring in Skarmory, get some more layers in. Oh, actually, Skarmory's a little low, so maybe not. I guess it all makes sense. It's all tracking. And it is a Recover Celebi. Last for Kristyl is probably Arrow here. Very interesting Venusaur from Leech. I don't think I've ever seen him use this Pokemon in my entire life. Sleep Powder on Tyranitar. And he's going to switch back to Celebi. Celebi probably has some sort of psychic. Well, probably just psychic. And now is no longer threatened by the sleep powder. Both up for some predicting switches. That is an unfortunate critical hit from Moltres onto Tyranitar, but Moltres does go down. I guess Flygon would have been able to deal with Charizard, so the Charizard death does not matter as much as it would have mattered. And Cloyster's going to come in to take that Earthquake, which does not bode well for Leech once again. His last could be a lot of things. And Metagross last from Kristyl, so it's not a Superman as much as it is a Flygon Moltres. Metagross with Psychic. Very unfortunate for Leech. Venusaur dying here at the end of the turn to Sand means no Leech Seed for Tyranitar as it comes in, and no Leech Seed for Venusaur before it dies, so really bad sequencing of events there for him. Skarmory does go down, but this is looking pretty dire for Leech. Flygon's going to get some more damage in on Pert, and he really needs the Pert to be able to deal with this Tyranitar. Well, Tyranitar's asleep, so not as a big a deal, but also this Metagross. Once again, Celebi comes in on an Ice Beam. Leech makes the ballsy play to stay and click Ice Beam again. Unfortunately, is not rewarded for his staying. And last is Aerodactyl from Leech. Makes sense with the Cloyster and trying to put up spikes and whatnot. But this is a terrible matchup for Arrow here. I mean, 2 Rock Resists, a Tyranitar, a Bee. I mean, no matter what he clicks, if he clicks Earthquake, Flygon gets a free turn. If he clicks Double Edge, Metagross gets a free turn. And if he clicks HP Flying, then Metagross gets a free turn as well. Or Tyranitar. Or yeah, just a really bad matchup for Aerodactyl here. And Leech is going to have some very strong prediction. That just does not seem very feasible here. Yeah, Metagross comes in, and there's no way he clicked Earthquake, yeah. So, yeah, this is probably the end here. Very unfortunate last game. He goes for the hidden power, thinking maybe he would get a switch, but Arrow goes down, and I think Leech realized that was unfortunately all she wrote. Celebi was going to finish off Swampert at some point, and probably Tyranitar too, so the rest of the Pokemon were just the icing on top, and if this is a boom Metagross, then yeah, there's yeah, a really unfortunate matchup for Leech. Some really weird rolls. I think they talked about it in the chat afterwards, but the Focus Punch last turn on Charizard probably should have been a substitute to get into Blaze range. Blaze did, I believe, kill Moltres from the percentage it was at. Yeah, it was at, what was that? 37%. So Blaze Fire Blast would have threatened the kill, which meant that Kristyl probably wouldn't have stayed in, I don't think. I mean, maybe, I don't know. But at least threatening the kill with Blaze Fire Blast and then clicking Focus Punch after you substitute or whatever is probably the stronger play. I think Leech realized it too. God, I'm so surprised again by the fragility of Cloyster. I don't know that Cloyster putting up extra layers would have done anything in this match specifically, but it being used for 1 spike and then a sack outlet is very unfortunate. And then, of course, just a really bad matchup for Arrow overall. I mean, if everything was a bit lower, either through spikes or just, the Venusaur being able to do some more Leech Seed shenanigans and Tyranitar being able to catch some stuff on the switch. Or, again, Charizard being able to... I mean, Charizard had a matchup of its life. I mean, if it was faster than this Flygon, then this Charizard killed literally everything if it had made it through the Moltres. But unfortunately, that wasn't the case. Kristyl played insane. I'm excited to see what Kristyl does, because Kristyl has just had some amazing games this CI. Yeah, Leech did really well. I think both these were 3 really good games. I do not think that there was any really bad plays or non-CI worthy plays. So really good stuff from both. Sad to see Leech leave the tournament, but we're excited to see where Kristyl will go. Um, I'm hoping that the person that knocked Pkleech out of the tournament wins the tournament now. Just because I don't know that the person that knocks your favorite out of the tournament, in my opinion, should be the one to win it. But because then you could say, oh well, I mean, lost against the winner. But either way, great games, really really great games, really really fun games to narrate. Again, thank you everybody for being willing to listen to me if you have listened this far, and being willing. Again, a huge shout out to CALLOUS for being willing to take a chance and let me narrate. I really appreciate the opportunity. And yeah, we'll call it here. Congratulations, Kristyl, for progressing to round 4, and good luck against CALLOUS this week. Yeah. Thank you, everybody. Goodbye.